Okay, we're going to talk about information literacy. Click on the folder. This is the first competency. Connect to the internet, gather information, and evaluate the validity and reliability of sources. Go ahead and read all of this. There is a readiness assessment. Most important, though, you're going to look at the Competency 2 study guide. When you click on the tutorial, what is the internet? Browser basics. Those are videos you get to watch. Here's a tutorial, Searching Better. Our wonderful librarian has put together a few videos as well. How to search. I'd like you to watch these, but most important, they only scratch the surface. Most of my students don't understand that when they walked you through this, they gave the very basics, what we would do in a classroom, in a quick, setting. This is what you need to focus on. Time is not that big of an issue. Info can quickly become obsolete, so you just have to see when it was published. Has newer information been out there? Are there links and references to other sources? Are they up to date? That one's not too difficult. Relevance, it's not just the importance of the info. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking at what's in this area, what's in the content area, why it's important. You're expected to support your ideas with pertinent information. So these are what you're answering. Does the information answer your research question? Does it meet the requirements of the assignment? Is it too technical or too simplified? Does it add something new to your knowledge of the topic? If you are not giving me information on this, if you're just saying, yes, it's good information, that doesn't tell me anything. You have to be specific. Go into it. When we get into the authority, don't just say, well, here's the author's name. That's not good enough. What are his credentials? Is this person, do they have a doctorate in the field that they're talking about? Do they have a master's degree? Are they a professor of that particular subject? Do they work for the government? Do they work for another credible organization? In other words, do they know what they're talking about? It's not just like someone like me who can make something look pretty and go out there and say whatever I want. It's, do I have credentials? Are there other books or articles cited by the author? Another thing you can look at is, who published it? There are certain people that have an editor. It's already been vetted. Somebody's looked at it and said, yes, this is legitimate. These are the things that you have to look for. Accuracy. A lot of people just tell me, oh yeah, it's spelled right. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking, are there statements you know to be false? Yes, are there errors in spelling, punctuation, or grammar, which means it hasn't really been reviewed. But was it reviewed by editors or experts before it was published? This really goes to credibility and accuracy. What citations or references support the author's claim? How do you know this stuff is true? Okay, if you use inaccurate information, you undermine your own credibility. There's a lot of blogs out there where people are trying to get you to read their articles, but they're not really authoritative. Just look out for that. The purpose, why does this exist? Why did the author or publisher make this information available? Is there an obvious bias or prejudice? That one is becoming easier and easier to spot. People are so one-sided that you know that it hasn't actually looked at both sides, doesn't give you opposite points of view, doesn't try and argue against possibly a differing opinion. If they actually have alternative points of view presented, but tell you why they maybe don't believe that, anyway, that shows that they've at least considered the alternatives of the other side. Does the author omit important facts that might disprove a claim, and does he use strong or emotional language such as, the world is going to end? I've seen that a lot lately. Humanity as we know it has died. Okay, these are strong emotional statements. They're not necessarily based in fact. Be careful. And that's what I'm looking for. So when you go down to fill out your sheet, so let's go back. That's the study part. When you go into your Competency 2 assessment, you're actually going to find, and be careful you don't do the advanced yet. We're going to go ahead and do the main one. Click on the folder, and when you go to submit it, you're going to actually click up here. Here is your required worksheet right here. You're going to click on that. Okay, so fill the definitions of the criteria. Be thorough. Does the source meet the criteria, yes or no? That's the final thing you're going to say is, does it or doesn't it? Explain why you answered. Especially pay attention to authority. Does this author have the appropriate credentials? Is there an editor to verify their work? Okay, so I need you to answer these questions. This is how it's going to be graded. Did you complete the definitions? Did you find 4 different websites? This is going to be a little more complicated. I'll show you. Criteria met, answered. Each is 1 point. Explanation of the evaluation. And your conclusion completed is 20 points. So make sure your conclusion is very thorough. Okay, so let's look at the worksheet. Sorry, I keep opening it, not looking at it. Okay, here we go. The first thing you need to do is find 2 articles. And I'm just going to focus on this first one. For Competency 3, that is our next assignment. It's going to be an essay. You're going to be creating a short research paper. You need to pick one of these subjects to write your research paper on. So we'd like you to go ahead and use these particular, and let me scroll down, these particular subjects. You can pick student cheating at the bottom, or privacy concerns, or cyberbullying, copyrighted materials, any of the things in this list. So what would be helpful is if you find 2 articles on this one of these subjects. Okay, and we're going to just go ahead and evaluate these 2. Actually, you're going to evaluate 2 articles on one of these topics. Just pick one. Remember, you're going to use these articles later to write an essay. Later on, you're going to use one of these topics to write a PowerPoint. So we're also going to find 2 articles on one of these topics. So that's 4 all in all. 2 articles from the first list, 2 articles from the second list. That's what you're going to be evaluating. Okay, let's go back to the form. Okay, first thing you're going to do is your computer ethics topic. Which of those topics did you pick? Fill it in right here. You can type in, I need to actually enable editing. You may run into that problem as well. Let's go ahead and type here, and we'll see how well I can type one-handed. Okay, I'm going to do cyberbullying. Okay, so that's the first thing I did. My article title or website, there's not a lot of room here, but keep, just type in what you have. It'll keep giving you more space. Okay, may mess up your spacing, but let's go ahead and hit return. So you can get yourself as much space as you need. Just hit your enter key. Okay, once I put in my article title or website URL, try and do MLA format. Give me the entire URL for the website, and if you do the article title and you just say cyberbullying, I'm never going to find this article, so I won't be able to show whether it meets the criteria or not. So you need to be real careful that you give me thorough information here. Same thing here. Now, the first question you're going to answer, you're going to provide the definition below. Okay, so timeliness, remember it was fairly lengthy. It's not just short. It's when was it published? Okay, so when. The most important thing is if you're talking about cyberbullying, that's not going to change a whole lot, but probably you want to be current within the last 2 years or so. For other topics, they can go out of date, like self-driving cars, every 6 months. Okay, we're going to answer the criteria yes or no. Does it meet this? Yes or no. Let's go ahead and say yes, it does. Maybe it was published last year. Give me your date. I'm actually in the accuracy. I'm just showing you how to fill this out. Go ahead and go up here. And, sorry. Okay, for relevance, remember to follow that sheet. Is this relevant? Does it provide information that's relative to my topic? Sometimes people evaluate something, it's really not relevant. The authority, does this person have any credentials? Okay, you actually have to put the definition only once here. And here you are going to need to provide your explanation for the first article. This is a second article over here. So when I fill this out, I'm going to have two articles side by side. I only need to put my definition once. And then I'm going to go down and do the first article. And then the second article. Sorry. Okay, so side by side, I got room for two articles here. Okay, once you have done that, you need to do another one. This one is for, if you notice right here on the worksheet, and again, we're just filling in the blanks. Here's competency 4. This one might be like network security. This is going to be on computer safety. Okay, again, put your title in, whatever you've picked. Find two articles on that subject. If you have any questions, please text me or call me. Okay, don't just stop. When you have finished filling in your particular file, say File, Save As, put it on, I like to put things on my desktop just because I can find them more easily. Name it, please put your name on here, Competency 2. Okay, I'm not going to spell my whole name. Put your name there and hit Save. Okay, it's telling me it's going to upgrade the file format. Okay, don't care. All right, so now I'm going to close out of that. And, okay, let's see. Bring this back up. Okay, now I'm going to go here. And it's going to tell me their assignment information points possible. You'll notice there's a submit button all the way over here on the right. Now go down. Here's my, again, competency 3 subjects, competency 4. You're going to pick two articles on just one of these topics. So let's say I pick privacy concerns. I'm going to find two articles on privacy concerns. Let's say I pick firewalls. I'm going to find two articles on firewalls. And I'm going to just evaluate them for this particular project. Try and find good articles though, it'll make the next part easier. Did you do everything? Okay, here's how you attach the file. You browse your computer. Remember, I put mine on my desktop. So I come up here to my desktop. I sort by my date, so competency 2 worksheet. And there it is. It's attached to the file. When the file name appears here, you know it has attached correctly. And then come over to, you can either submit at the very bottom or at the very top of the page. I'm going to submit. And there I'm done. Okay, I'll join you again for the next course unit, Competency 3. Hope this helped.